Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, September 26th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I'll do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movements. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol CAPR. Very, very explosive move today. Actually, yesterday was also a very solid move. So higher highs and higher lows, and now we have a nice pattern here that I want to get drawn into place. So let's start with the support part of the pattern and draw that trend line right there. And let me change that to green to represent support. And then on the flip side of things, we have an area of resistance right up here at the top part where you can see the price struggled several times to not necessarily break through it because, yeah, the price did break through it a couple times. But in terms of maintaining and building momentum, failed both times. So that would be the top part of this pattern. Just because I can't help myself, let's make it a little more proportional. There we go. And then to make the pattern easier to see, let's just use one color here. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big move up right here. And then for you golfers, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because the pattern's bullish does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go up. But is it reasonable? Is it logical to think that the price could come down here and maybe bounce off the bottom, or even if it doesn't, come back down, but starts to head back up and then breaks up through there, that break, a technical chart breakout could create additional buying pressure? All those are more than valid thoughts. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but by no means could somebody be like, oh, that's crazy. That's just random thinking on your part. No, there's some good structure behind it. So at the end of the day, if you like this price range, you like bull pennant patterns, certainly keep an eye on CAPR. Next one, ATCH, and an interesting scenario here, and just go through a quick context of the day. So at one point, the price was all the way up here, and I think some poor souls bought right there, but then the price dropped and dropped and dropped, and around here, it becomes a very valid question to throw out there. Is this just a gap and trap? Is this some sort of pump and dump? Is this thing headed right back to where it was? And we seemingly have got an answer, and as of right now, no, the price started to level out, basically late morning and then through the rest of the day, which is why 28 cents now moving forward is an important level of support, because that seems to be the consolidation area where a bottom has been formed. But my key point here is it's at least plausible now to throw out the suggestion that, hey, maybe this is a bottom. Case in point, let's just say the price was still doing something like this, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like that's the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally just dropping straight down. But that's not the case here. The price has at least started to go sideways. Does that mean this is the bottom? No. Is it plausible to suggest that it could be the bottom? Absolutely. So in terms of areas of resistance, if this thing's going to try to curl back upwards, key battleground seems to be right there around 31.5 cents. So keep an eye on that. But like I said, if you like these scenarios where you get a nasty pullback, but then the pullback suggests that maybe it's bottoming out, maybe it's getting ready to curl back upwards. And of course, if you like penny stocks, then this is one that I'd say certainly keep an eye on. Next one, NIO. If you watched yesterday's video, this will mean a little bit more to those of you, but because of this rising wedge pattern that I drew, I called for a pullback. And yeah, it did indeed pull back here. But also, like I mentioned, pullback doesn't mean crash. It doesn't mean the price is going down the toilet. It just means, well, a pullback. And ultimately, today so far has been very, very healthy. So I'll go ahead and get rid. Whoops. All right, sorry about that. I almost knocked my microphone. Well, I did kind of knock the microphone over. But anyways, want to get rid of those lines right there. And we'll start afresh here. So one of the newest areas of resistance now with this pullback is basically this trend line right here, which is mapping out the pullback and the current trajectory of it. So if the price is able to curl back upwards and then get up through there, that'd just be a classic technical pattern breakout right there. And then in terms of the area of support, if I connect this like that, and again, change that to green, then to make this easier to see, we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move here. So this would be a multi-day bull pennant pattern, which again, going back to what I first started talking with, the pullback here is not bad in the sense of it destroyed the chart. If anything, you could make the argument that from a bigger picture, it's now created a bullish pattern via the bull pennant pattern. Now, even if you don't really care about the pattern, ultimately you do preferably want to see the price stay above that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. But even if the price were to drop below there, still not the end of the world because you still have a very strong upwards trending pink line there, that 200-period moving average, which you can see acted as a support. back a few days right there. But all in all, yeah, it pulled back today, but assuming you care about the overarching chart, everything is still perfectly fine. Next one, OCTO, and like the penny stock I talked about already previously, and what was that? That was ATCH. Same general idea. Price made a nice move, got all the way up here, and then started to drop and drop and drop. And at that point, it becomes that question of, uh-oh, is this thing getting ready to just totally collapse? And late day today got the answer, and as of now, no, it doesn't seem like it wants to collapse. In fact, it's seeming like it's trying to bottom out here via the sideways action here in that key support right there around $3.43. Now, even if the price does drop below there, I still wouldn't say the entire chart's destroyed, because you do still have the opportunity to stay above that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, which you can see previously has done a good job of providing support. So don't look at this level as some sort of do or die. I'm just pointing that out because that seemingly is where the price has bottomed out, and which you could use as an argument for, okay, I think the pullback is over and it's getting ready to curl back upwards. If the price does curl back upwards, initial main battleground to watch from a resistance standpoint seems to be right there around $3.85. So all in all, I know the first one was a penny stock that had this scenario, but now this one's a little bit pricier, but still right around the $5 range. So if you like these circumstances, but you prefer to be up over $1, here you go. Next one, NVDA, and yet another good solid day. So let me get rid of a couple of these levels right here. First update comes about based on a foundational rule and chart in which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support, and you could throw this rule right into a textbook. I mean, classic example. As you can see, that was red, changes to green, and look right where it bounced from this morning. Right there. Perfect example of that resistance acting as support, and then up the price went. So that'll be the newest area of support. I'm actually going to adjust this level up more and call this right here at 122.50 the ideal level. I mean, if you say, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? That would be if the price can stay above 122.50. Now, if the price falls below it, not the end of the world, because from the overarching standpoint, you still have that purple line there, 50-period moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, in fact, if you just want to envision that as a trend line that's drawing itself for you, then overall, as long as the price is above that quote-unquote trend line, then the bulls still own the big picture chart. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overthink this. Just ask a very basic question. Where did the party finally stop today? And it stopped basically 3 times right up there, just shy of 125, but I'm just going to call it 125. You can see try to break through, failed, try to break through, failed, try to break through, failed. Does not mean that it can never get up above 125, but apparently that's where the sellers are currently hanging out at. So if this current upwards move and trend is going to continue, 125 is public enemy number 1. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, MSGM, and same general idea of a few of these. Started very strong. I mean, check out that opening 30 minutes. Big green candle, then totally rolled back over. But in rolling over, it leveled out and is now already starting to curl back upwards. So that's where I want to get this first key level of support into play. This trend line right here, because that's essentially visualizing the attempted curl back up that it's already, begun. And then on the flip side of things, I think that line right there. So again, because I can't. Let's make it nice and even. There we go. I think there's a nice little wedge. There is a nice little wedge right here. Now, just because it's a nice wedge does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to explode upwards. But is it reasonable to think that if the price can get a break up through that area, that could cause momentum to start to pour back in? Yeah, certainly a plausible thought, but not guaranteed. And that's why, as always, risk management matters so much. Now, if you want to play a bit of a deeper pullback, and if you're thinking, well, I think the price is going to fall down through the downside, well, then from a deeper pullback standpoint, you do have a nice flat 200-period moving average right there at $1.26. But of course, if you're saying, well, I want to wait for that, well, maybe it never gets down there. That'd be the risk of, kind of an opportunity cost for you. But at the end of the day, you got to, figure out and do what's going to fit best in with your risk tolerance. But all in all, nice little wedge pattern. Next one, TSLA Tesla. And so far, so good. In fact, last 30 minutes here, good stuff. And why I like to do these when the market is still open, because you can see as I speak right now, Tesla is attempting to push up through these key levels of resistance. I'm not quite sure if it's going to do it, because if we make it right there, 257.20 seems to be the main level, and that is right up at that level. But also to note, if you notice, I adjusted that resistance in the upwards direction. And assuming you're bullish, whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in an upwards direction, that is always a good thing. But as of right now, it seems more than plausible to think that that level could be broken on Thursday, for no other reason, just because, well, I mean, the price, if it closes right here, it's got to travel a very small distance in order to get up there and do battle with it. So still doesn't guarantee that'll happen, but I don't think anybody could accuse you of being crazy for saying, I think 257.20 is going to be broken tomorrow. I completely see where you're coming from, especially when you factor that there's been this uptrend all day long. So we have essentially a nice little ascending triangle pattern that's formed throughout the course of the day. So all in all, Tesla looking very good. Next one, MLGO, another penny stock, and I'm going to go through this one a little quicker just because you've already heard me talk about this pattern, so I want to respect your time as best as I can. So there is a support part of the pattern, and then in terms of resistance areas, have a nice well-defined trend line that we can draw like there, and then just because I can't help myself, let's keep it all one color. So resistance, support, big move up right here, golf hole down here. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So if you like bull pennants, you like penny stocks, here you go. Next one here, RIVN, and this one's been getting beat down quite a bit, but I want to get this pattern here drawn in play. It's actually one of my favorites. So there is the area of support, and there is a resistance, and this would be a falling wedge pattern, and which is actually a bullish pattern. Now, as I mentioned earlier, just because something's bullish doesn't mean it's going to go up. But this is, like I said, I personally just like the falling wedge pattern, and a couple of different ways you can keep an eye on it. Now, of course, if you're not in it, or if you are in it and you want to just see the chart remain strong as possible, you definitely don't want to see the price come down here and then just blast down through it. Because at that point, you can no longer say that it's got a bullish pattern going for it, because, well, that pattern would be destroyed to the downside. But now, is it plausible to think the price could come down here and maybe get a bounce off it? Yeah, that is certainly a plausible thought to have. And then, of course, for the breakout players, if this thing can curl back upwards and get up here and break up through the top part of that level, especially a high volume break, once more, it is a plausible conclusion that, okay, that break could create even more momentum and more breakout traders to start pouring in. And, you could get, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, fair enough, I have no problem with that either. But at the end of the day, falling wedge pattern, if you like these sorts of patterns, you like this price range, then this one is fitting the bill. Next one, TQQQ, and overall, good solid day, nothing explosive, nothing massively exciting, but at the end of the day, any way you look at it, we're going to look at it in a certain way. We're going to look at the lows, and you can see these lows keep getting higher and higher, and that's what it's all about, assuming you're bullish, because as long as lows are getting higher, that does mean that progress is, ultimately being made. So as far as areas of support, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this level now as it served its purpose. And really the main level to watch in the near term is our good and trusty friend, the 50-period moving average, right now valued at $70, and we'll call it 70 cents. You can see did a good job. Didn't hit exactly, but got within the ballpark. Right there, slightly below it, but still stayed within the ballpark of holding strong. So if the price does come down there, that would be a reasonable area to potentially think a bounce could come from. But then just from the overall health of things, if the price can stay above that purple line, that's certainly going to make the chart look the healthiest moving forward. But even if the price does drop below there, not the end of the world, because you still do have plenty of other areas of support below you. In fact, now that I say that, I'm going to get this trend line support into play. So not that far below the purple line, you can actually, there's this other trend line right there. And then in terms of areas of resistance, I'm just going to leave it as is. 72.10 is the level I talked about previously. And you can see that, sure, the price got above it a little bit a few times, but the momentum was never able to maintain or establish itself. You can see just a lot of congestion right around that area. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick with $72.10, main area of resistance and public enemy number one. I'll get to Bitcoin in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can and definitely should be used, and quite frankly, why it's such a powerful tool for us as traders, then get signed up. It'll be very soon, Thursday, September 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And it is a genuine live event. And I say that because there will be a Q&A session. So if you have questions, please bring them and I'd be happy to answer them live for you. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. In order for this video to remain relevant as long as possible as far as this analysis, I just want to take a broader viewpoint and then just walk you through some questions. And based on how you answer those questions will dictate the current status of things. So as of right now, it has been confirmed that, yeah, 64,775, definitely a stubborn area of resistance. You can see it was rejected there. And then over the past 24 hours, was rejected once again. So that's where the first question comes into play. And let's just say you're watching this video 20 hours after I upload it. Question number 1, where is the price at relative to that red line there at 64,775? In any way, shape, or form, if you're answering the question, the price is above that, that is a good thing. That would be telling you there's a breakout. Now, how good of a breakout? Well, that's where common sense comes into play. If the price is right there, that's good because that's a breakout. If the price is way up there or even higher, well, that's even better because that would be that much bigger of a breakout. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is still down below that level, then the next immediate question would be, okay, well, where's the price at relative to that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average? If you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below there, next question, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 61,300? And if you're answering the question that the price is down below there, I'm still not going to say that the chart is a train wreck, but I am going to say okay, that'd be a small little red flag to start to get a little cautious on things, because that would imply that this pullback right now that's underway has gotten a whole lot bigger. But yes, right now there is a bit of a pullback, but I see nothing to worry about because it's still above the 50-period moving average. It's still above that level right there. So keep your eye on these levels, walk yourself through those questions, and that'll keep this relevant until I'm back to update it again. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely go get signed up for this free class, because what you learn about can and definitely should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So go get signed up. It'll be very soon, Thursday, September 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoy these, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and yeah, go get signed up for the free class.